What's up, guys? This is Kalo, and normally I'm here to give you the lowdown on all things gaming, but we are back for another episode of The Cutting Board, a special themed edition of The Cutting Board, because we just got done with the Game Awards, and here to help me break this all down, Aiden, why don't you say what's up?
Heyo, how's it going?
Oh, it's going. We had a night. We watched the Game Awards 2024 in our Discord. It was a good time. And I want to ask you, just to kind of usher in the conversation. I'm pretty harsh around Jeff Keighley and how he handles these events and the lack thereof. Like, big things. I know he can't always get the big fish. But what did you think on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 being the best, 1 being the worst. How do you think Jeff did this year?
I mean, he did about as well as every year. He was there, he existed. I ignored him for the sake of games.
For the sake of games. I'll be
The
honest.
Muppets were better.
The Muppets were pretty damn good, something I never thought I'd truly say. But out of all years, comparing this to like when he started the Game Awards to now, this is the best showcase he's done as of late. Like, I'm including Summer Games Fest. I'm including all the stuff he runs. I think this was the best showing, and judging by the titles announced, the things revealed, the moments that happened, I think this was pretty damn good.
Yeah, I mean, it was good. It's just, like I said, it's just more of Jeff Keighley to me. I ignore him for the most part. He just exists. Unfortunately, but he exists.
He does exist. I want to kind of run through. Grant you, there was a lot of stuff shown, so we're not going to get to every single little thing. Real quick, though, on that note, how many, like, anime-looking games are we going to get in our lifetime? Because last night, I could have sworn I seen the same game 7 times. Like, is it just me?
I don't know. I mentioned it while we were watching it. It just felt like, why is every other game an anime game? Like, why does it feel like there was so many more this year compared to every other year?
I'm becoming more self-aware with that stuff. Normally, it's like, whatever. Like, there's a trailer, great, whatever. But yeah, this year I was like, like that was just shown like 2 trailers ago, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's a different game. But I want to kick things off real quick with a thing I gotta be biased about. The movies next week. We got a new Sonic Racing game. Never thought I'd say that. I can't believe we're getting that before Sonic Adventure. But yeah, Sonic Racing, like Mario Kart competitor. I don't know. Am I going too crazy to say that?
I mean, I don't know how well the original Sonic Racing did, or well, the last one. I don't know. I've never played a Sonic Racing game, so I couldn't tell you. I'm not the biggest Sonic fan, so that's all you. I respect you. I respect you for it.
I,
But
I personally don't play Sonic Racing, but like for the sake of new Sonic content, I'm like, sure, like let's go, I guess. A game this is a game I seen in GameStop in my youth that I just seen the cover and I was like, oh, that's a game I constantly see in the store. We're getting Okami 2. I don't know if you can speak to this game more, if you've ever played Okami 1. It's been a long
dude,
time.
I loved it.
Okay, so
I loved it. It was one of my favorite games as a child.
So please elaborate.
Absolutely
How
loved it.
hyped are we for Okami 2?
Dude. Okay, so Okami was a very niche title for some people. I mean, like it hit hard, but then the remaster of it just like it fell extremely short for everybody and it barely made sales, and so it shows that people aren't that excited for it. Like, it was a big title whenever I was a kid, but oh, it was a masterpiece at for its time. It was like platforming puzzle masterpiece. It used like paint to solve puzzles and everything. It was gorgeous. I loved every minute of it. And it was like one of the first like really unique games during that time to me. And like it's like one of those that's like you can never forget it.
Yeah, the only thing I can remember about Okami is wasn't the main character in Smash one year or something like that. I could be entirely wrong.
No, no.
Why do I think that was a thing? Maybe I'm going crazy. Definitely, it's the lack of sleep.
No.
But I want to move on now to Game of Thrones: King's Road. It's an RPG, and I'm hearing different things that it's a mobile game, which kind of scares me. But I'm a big Game of Thrones fan, and I'm looking for that game that can just ingrain me in that world, and it looks like this is it. I gotta hold mobile games to a different standard nowadays because they're far more capable than back whenever I was in high school playing Doodle Jump. But from what I gather, it's an open world RPG, which sign me up.
Hey, I mean, like Jon Snow, I know nothing about it.
You know nothing.
I don't even know where that meme comes from, so
Well,
go ahead, shoot me in the comments. I don't care. Game of Thrones, hate it. George R. R. Martin can burn for all I care.
well, you should like him because isn't he in, like part of Elden Ring? Like, wasn't that his like?
Okay. He created a world in Elden Ring, and then Miyazaki burned that world.
So there's the setup. I just see I'm looking at the official website. We got 3 classes and a knight, sellsword, and assassin. So like I'm interested. I'm always interested in new Game of Thrones content. House of the Dragon was dope, but who knows with this game? Who knows? I honestly couldn't tell you. Now, I have a problem. Why are we getting The Last of Us content? Why is it coming to the PC? I thought it was already there.
No, it's not. And everything that's a PS5 exclusive or just a PlayStation exclusive eventually comes to PC. So it wasn't a surprise to see The Last of Us get announced for that. Like, it wasn't a surprise at all. I mean, people were talking about it for a while. It's whatever there.
I had my tinfoil hat on because I was like, oh, Troy Baker's there. The voice of Abby is there presenting an award. I'm like, oh, that means that they're going to show a trailer for season 2. But no, we just got the PC port for part 2. Great. Like, whatever. It's a good game. I don't mean to bash it, but, like, can we just, like, not visit that property? Call me crazy. Is this the most visited IP in recent memory? Like, The Last of Us is constantly in the headlines.
Yeah, I mean, it really does feel like that one and Game of Thrones are like the 2 biggest IPs. That and Fallout really feels
Yeah.
like really big just because of the show.
Well, speaking in the vein of Fallout, The Outer Worlds 2 got a new trailer. I dig it. I love that
Oh, I
world.
loved it.
It is so charming. It's like that Fallout meets BioShock-esque environment. I can't speak enough good things if you haven't played The Outer Worlds 1.
Oh,
But what are your thoughts on this trailer?
I don't know. I absolutely loved it. And my brother-in-law and I, we were recently talking about Obsidian, and we basically just agreed Obsidian is like the RPG makers.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to RPGs, they are on a whole nother level compared to everybody else. And so I'm just excited for whatever they're cooking up for it. Like I just want more of everything.
More of everything, and it's good to say, especially nowadays with studios, you can get an Obsidian game and not feel like worried about it. I was about to say pretty worried, but I think Obsidian as of late has given like a decent track record to be like, all right, the next game is going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Everything's going to be fine.
Yeah. I am not worried about anything Obsidian related at all because like I trust them at this point just to make a good game.
Yeah. And
Like
that's a good bar to have nowadays. That really is.
yeah. I mean they have a massive track record that holds up.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. They really do.
You look back, like Fallout New Vegas, Avowed is coming up. That looks amazing. That's going to be a game that takes up my whole life. You got this now on the horizon. I mean, I can't speak enough about Obsidian. It's going to be great. Very, very. I have good expectations for it.
Oh yeah. You know what? I will take care of next segue for next year.
Oh.
What how do you feel about the new age of co-op coming?
Yeah, there was a lot of co-op games. You pointed this out.
Yeah.
I think co-op is a thing, and I'm talking about traditional co-op where it's like you pair up with somebody, you go through a story. nowadays I feel like multiplayer is like this different beast where it's like, oh no, it's got to be online, like 5v5, like hero shooter, blah blah blah, all that bells and whistles stuff. But traditional, getting through a story, working together, kind of like what Portal 2 was back in the day, like that is something that I think it's been missing for a long time. And last night was a the renaissance, if you will, for this. What are some of those titles that you enjoyed that were announced?
Well, I mean, you and I will definitely we'll talk on this later, but Borderlands 4 definitely that one's always a good like co-op game in general. Like, but mostly I'm focused on like the next Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Like that whole Night Rain thing, I am confused as all hell as to what it actually is, with it being an action survival and it being like class based and stuff. But like, give me more Elden Ring because I really love FromSoft and I trust them to do whatever. I just they can just take my money. I'm fine with it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, that game, and we're talking about Elden Ring Night Rain, that's a game I'm interested in. Like, I've always talked to you about Souls games and how it's, like, difficult. I don't really want to invest myself in this. But Elden Ring Night Rain, that piqued my interest at a different level than it normally does. And who knows? I'm gonna have to start looking into Elden Ring, I think. I think
I
that's my
have
thing.
I have just a challenge for you in upcoming streams. Hey, go ahead with Andrew. Do Dark Souls. I will totally fucking join you on that.
Oh my
And we will
gosh.
walk you through like the original Dark Souls, and then there you go.
You're gonna be pulling out your hair. I'm horrible at Souls games. The closest thing in recent memory that I've played that kind of lends itself to that are the Jedi Survivor series, and even then, that's a stretch. I'm just, yeah, I'm a lost soul there, but I'm looking at Elden Ring Night Rain. I'm looking forward to
Yeah.
that. But I want to talk about a game I am severely anticipating, excited for every single metric. The Witcher 4. I could not tell you how excited I am for this game. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is one of my favorite games of all time. The DLC for that game, astounding. It's on the level like my favorite games of all time, like The Witcher 3, Skyrim, like all those games. I enjoy that we're getting more Ciri. I believe we heard Geralt at the end of that trailer. I could be totally wrong. John was saying that we heard him in the start, but I don't think that was him. That raspy voice at the end, I was like, that sounds like Geralt. But
Oh yeah.
what are you thinking about The Witcher 4?
I don't know. I'm excited for it, but I'm. This is gonna sound weird here. I'm hoping it is shorter.
Yeah,
I
Witcher
am
3 was
really
long.
hoping because Witcher 3, there are so many people who like say, "Oh yeah, it's perfectly fine." They love it. They think it's a great game. They loved every minute of it. Me, I'm like, you know what? After I put like 40 hours in that game, I am like tapped out for a
Yep.
long time. And I'm just like, I still have another 40 or 50 hours to go. And I'm someone who can put 100 hours in Final Fantasy. So
Yeah.
it's like, for me to say a game is long is a lot.
And it's different whenever you're like somebody who goes through a game and does all the side quests, goes and explores every little nook and cranny in that
Yeah,
world. And
which
then
is
the
what I do.
DLC, yeah, and then the DLC, it's like, oh my gosh, like if you grant you, if you buy that game, you're gonna get your bang for your buck, especially if you play
Oh,
it through.
definitely.
Like it is worth the buy. But
Yeah, I mean, this new one, I guarantee it's going to be like $70 or $80 price tag, and then it's going to be like, okay, now you get like 300 hours of content.
You know what? If The Witcher 4 can deliver that, I'm fine paying the $70, 80 potentially. That's a whole other conversation to have about any of these games announced. It's like, yeah, like I the consistent good content. I'm willing to pay for that, but I
Oh,
don't know.
definitely.
I I'm not comparing this to Cyberpunk because that was CD Projekt Red's most recent big release. I hold The Witcher to a different standard here. I think it's going to be great. I cannot wait. The story, immaculate. Ciri again. I forgot who brought it up, but Ciri looks grizzled. Like, was it
Oh,
you?
yeah.
Was it you?
Yeah.
Somebody
Yeah, she
mentioned it.
looks rough as fuck, and I love it.
I
I
was
love
like,
how she looks.
I was like, oh my gosh, she's seen a thing or two, but that's what you get for being a Witcher.
Yeah,
Um,
she's been through the ringer, man.
she has been through the ringer. Now, I want to touch on Final Fantasy real quick. Rebirth is coming to the PC in January of 2025, and then Clive is joining Tekken 8. John was not pleased that it wasn't Tifa. What are your thoughts on
Yeah.
Final Fantasy finally coming to the PC?
Oh, I mean, like again, I saw it coming. It's like Final Fantasy VII Remake, I believe, got brought over to PC. It's just everything that is like a PlayStation exclusive is going to come to PC. It's just a matter of time. I mean, we've seen it with everything. So it's just, again, not a surprise. It's just, hey, whatever. My big surprise was like you mentioned Clive with coming to like Tekken or whatever, and like really, you should have seen us in the Discord. We were all like, yes, Tifa should have been it. Why wasn't it Tifa?
There was a lot of
I mean,
upset people in that chat.
like all four of us were just going off, going like, come on, give us fucking Tifa for this.
It's insane. Grant you, I think there's room for her to come at any. I'm gonna say it now. Calling my shot. Summer Game Fest. Tifa. Tekken 8. I don't know the timeline of Tekken, but I'm gonna say
That's
it
bold.
here. Yeah,
It's bold. I like it.
I like to call my shot every now and then. Now, moving on to a game I called in the stream leading up to the Game Awards. We got to look at Naughty Dog's new IP in Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet. I think this. I got a little bit of the No Man's Sky vibes at first, and then it gave me PTSD flashbacks to that original Concord trailer where we got like the spaceship traveling through time and all that. But I can't tell you how excited I am for this IP. It's the first brand new one from Naughty Dog in recent memory, and to say that they're doing this space odyssey type thing, I am very excited for it.
Dude, I'm excited for it too. Like, I'm not gonna sugarcoat that. Like, I am stupidly excited for it. Like, I was never a fan of Uncharted. Never was. So, I mean, no offense to anyone who likes Uncharted. I just wasn't a big fan of it. But this one looks way better, and I am so excited for it because I love space stuff. So, I'm all ready for it. It gave me a Guardians of the Galaxy vibe with the whole like retro music playing with space and everything. I was like, give me more of this. My only gripe, and you already know what my only gripe is there's one actor who they showed for a brief moment, and I'm like, I don't know if I trust this
Mm-hmm.
because he happens to ruin everything that he is in.
I'm not gonna attempt to announce his name or whatever, but he was in Eternals. Eternals.
Yes, he was
Yes,
in Eternals. He made an appearance in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show,
that's
and
right.
I hated seeing him in there because
My
he
gosh.
felt really out of place.
It's like he was just there. He plays himself and he was there.
Yeah,
But I can't tell
it's
you, and I think we
it's
both know. Yeah, he was a weird dude.
it's because he, like you said, he plays himself
Yeah.
in everything. He is the same. It's like me with Kevin Hart. If you play the same guy in everything you're in, I don't like it.
That's true. Now, Naughty Dog at its best is with stories, and I just can't wait to see what they do in space. Like we've gotten the zombie apocalypse. I mean, grant you, do we count Jack and Daxter in this space weird kind of thing? I don't know. But I also am looking at this. We got Starfield. We're getting the Outer Worlds, or we got Outer Worlds 2 now. Space in general is gonna be a well explored place in gaming, and we're not talking about Concord. That was gone. I want to save obviously the trailer we're most hyped about. We're gonna do a full video on it, Borderlands for last. But to kind of touch on something real quick, Pal World is getting a new expansion in Faybreak, and it's coming at the end of this month. Great,
Yep,
like
the 23rd to be specific, I think.
yeah, the fact that they're like in the middle of what they're doing. Also, real quick, a news update: they revamped how the PAL spheres work. The fact that they're in the middle of all that, and then just like, hey, we're at the Game Awards, new expansion coming soon. That's good stuff.
I mean, they're giving the fans what they want, man. I am fully on board with them. I wish them the best of luck in everything they do.
Exactly. And to touch on a game real quick, Mafia: The Old Country got a new trailer. I recently got into the Mafia series, and I can't tell you, it is just amazing story. The gameplay is surprisingly well. I'm playing the definitive edition on Xbox, but I love this world. I love the realism within it. And yeah, this was a trailer heading into the Game Awards we all kind of knew about. It was announced, but it's coming in the summer of 2025, so be on the lookout for that. Now, real quick for spacing and kind of getting everything together. Do we talk about the game of the year then? The game, or
Well, I just want to touch on a couple more,
yeah, by all means.
like a couple more mentions here, just because we briefly brought up co-op. But for those who are really excited about co-op games and actually really do love like playing with other people in a not competitive environment, and you don't want to do Elden Ring, there are a few others that look really good. One being Stage Fright, which is from the people who made Overcooked. So, I mean, I can guarantee you're probably going to be frustrated as all hell playing it, in other words.
Very
But
stressed.
it looks great. It looks like it is one of those like split co-op games, kind of like It Takes Two. Looks absolutely great from what we saw there. There's also from the people who made It Takes Two and A Way Out, if you're into that one as well, which I was. We also have Split Fiction, which that one is one of the games I am most hyped for. Because like I love everything that Hazelight has done, and I just need more of what everything that they make.
It's worth the buy, and especially nowadays where like that classic, like we said earlier, the classic couch co-op, like the tried and true, like you get a buddy and you play a game. It's been missing for quite some time. Everyone's kind of focused on the big live service. It's got to be this. It's got to make this amount of money. There are very few games nowadays that release, and it's like, yeah, it's just a story that's being told. Again, this is what gaming was all about at some point. But yeah, it's nice to
Yeah.
see the amount of trailers we got last night.
Yeah, I'm super excited for the next year of co-op, and I just, like I said, I want more of it. And I'm hoping that people take that. I'm hoping every developer takes this as a sign, like, hey, we want more co-op, and we want to interact with each other.
That's a point we got to revisit for the finale. So let's move
Yeah.
on to a co-op game we're both pretty excited about. Is Borderlands 4. It got its gameplay trailer and it took off right from where that little teaser started. Look at him. He's a fan, allegedly. I mean, I don't know. Maybe the Moxie sign doesn't really do it.
Am a fan.
There we go.
All
There's
right,
the
there you
tattoo.
go.
He's a true fan. But I'm looking at this and I can't help but think, it lurks in the back of my mind, how much this trailer would have hit more if the movie went over well. I know you don't want to talk about the
Oh
movie.
yeah.
I know you don't want to talk about the movie.
Okay.
But
Objectively, I agree with you. If the movie had gone over well and they actually made a good movie, this trailer would have hit a lot harder.
it would have. But what are your thoughts on the trailer? How many times have you watched it by now? And is there anything you caught real quick? Because you're the Borderlands expert
mean,
here.
I've watched it. I've watched it twice. That's
Okay.
it. Like
Modest.
I watched it last night and I watched it this morning just because I was writing an article about it. And I will say, gameplay wise, it looks fluid. It looks amazing, just like Borderlands 3's gameplay. I am very, very iffy about the story. I read the whole PlayStation blog thing about how there is two factions basically fighting each other. It's not necessarily the Vault War that they talked about, which I am upset about because honestly, first look at the trailer, I was like, yes, are they finally doing that war that they talked about? Apparently, I guess it's not it, which is kind of upsetting to me because that just means that they're pushing it further back. And so, really, it's like two factions. There's one that's meant from this, like one from the main antagonist called the Timekeeper, and then the other faction is called the Rippers,
Okay.
and they have a queen called Callus or something, or Callie or whatever her name is. It's gonna bug me unless I see it. Um, it's whatever. I can't seem to find it right now in that article. But yeah, it's her name is like Callus or something, or Callie, and like they they look like it looks great. I'm not gonna deny that. It looks great. The gameplay looks great. What the little bit they showed looks amazing. The art style has kept on with that cell shade effect, and I love it. I'm glad they didn't go more realistic with it.
Yeah.
But I will say this: the Vault Hunters look bland as hell,
Yeah.
and
That was
I'm
one
not the
thing.
only one who has noticed it.
That was the one thing, and to touch on like the art style real quick, heading into this game there were rumors that Borderlands 4 might divulge from the classic look and do the more realistic stuff. But I think it's a nice like little medium they struck where it does look cel shaded and all that, but I think there are some aspects that look a little more refined, look a little more real. But yeah, the Vault Hunters look cookie cutter,
Yeah,
I don't want to speak on them too much until I see the abilities, the classes. I assume there's going to be a siren, like a sniper, assassin, commando, stuff like that. I mean, I don't know. Like you've looked at the trailer, you've done the article. Do you think there's like any kind of differentiating classes here?
I mean, really, I okay. I see one of them being a very up close personal fighter style, which is the guy that a lot of people just say looks homeless,
Fair.
who's like going from left to right, basically. You got the guy who was the furthest on the left, who like he has like these blade things that like come out of his hands and like spins around, chops people up with it. That looks cool, and it's a nice progression for like melee stuff that they've steadily been working on. I mean, they worked on it in Wonderlands and everything, but
he,
like
does,
I could definitely see that being a cool ability.
he does look homeless. I'm looking at the
Yeah,
picture. I'm looking
he
at
just
the
does.
picture. Yeah.
The siren, many are questioning how the hell she's in there, and I'm just going to just put it bluntly. There's like one siren we haven't seen. There are six. There are supposed to be seven sirens in total, with the whole reveal in Borderlands 3 that you can have that there is a seventh siren, and she's presumably alive. Presumably, because like it said, oh, you can't seek her out. Don't break her free or whatever. So she's presumably alive, and so that leaves six sirens. We know Lilith is alive. We have Ava. We have Tannis, and we have Amara. And so we know minimum four of them are out there.
Mm-hmm.
So that leaves two, and one of them we know the one of them we know the abilities of. So there's only one that we don't know, and that's what Commandant Steele's powers were. And so just my whole thing is that this siren has to have Commandant Steele's powers.
Could be. Could be. I like the dude standing next to her. The big, jacked,
Yeah.
bearded dude. That's going to be my
Oh,
guy.
yeah.
That's going to be my guy.
Like he and the siren are the two that look the best, in my opinion. His abilities, there was like a brief showcase. I don't know exactly what they are, but a lot of people are saying nanotech.
Yeah.
Love the idea of it being nanotech, especially because he just has that like big robotic arm, and I'm assuming like he could raise it and like have everything come out of there. I'm hoping if it is nanotech, a nanoswarm maybe. Nanoswarm type ability, but I saw him like summon like two axes and then just go and launch them.
Mm-hmm.
And then the final one, she just looks kind of stereotypical and like an NPC that I would see in Borderlands.
I was going to say she looks like, I'm going to butcher his name from Overwatch. She looks like Luxio. Or is it Luxio? Yeah, it's the dude.
I don't know Overwatch.
Oh, it's the dude with the sound speakers and stuff like that. But I assume she's going to be the tech person.
Oh, Lucio.
Lucio, yeah. I can assume.
I guess I see it a little, but not much.
Yeah, like I can assume she's gonna be the tech person. Out of everybody,
Yeah.
I'll grant you the big Jack dude, he might be the tech guy, but yeah, like I overall like it could be worse. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
But like, is that a good bar to set? Like, I don't
Yeah.
think that is.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, like I said, they think that the Vault Hunters look kind of bland and more like NPCs versus everybody else. And I saw other people mentioning that, like, there's the one lady who kind of looks like Handsome Jax, like she has Handsome Jack's face in a sense, like structurally,
Yeah.
but like she has like the golden outfit on, like the golden spikes coming off of her ear, like spike coming off her ear, whatever. So many people pointed out, like, man, I wish she was a playable character.
You know, they might, and they always do the DLC where they add a character, so it's like, hey, like, while we just got our first look at the game, what this game could look like, I don't know, 2, 3 years into its life, maybe it looks different. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know. And also, I think the more we see of it, I would assume the better it gets. Like, this was just a very brief, like, hey, here's Borderlands 4, it's what to expect, and we'll go from here. But, real quick though, before or after GTA? Do you think this goes before?
oh, before for sure.
Before. Okay.
There's no world where this is coming after GTA.
That's my thing with this. Yeah, like that's my thing with this where I'm convinced that GTA 6 is not going to be ready by the time they
Yeah.
anticipate. And I'm like, all right.
I'm surprised they didn't show GTA 6 at the Game Awards because so many people were saying that there would be like at least a second trailer just showing a little bit, maybe
Yeah.
not even gameplay, just a little bit more story or something.
Yeah, you had
But
Snoop
no.
there. You had Snoop Dogg there. Everyone was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, that's when they're going to drop something." But it was all
Oh,
about
his
Fortnite.
his his music even sounded like it was going to be Vice City.
Yeah. Yeah. But it was for Fortnite. Why not? Why not? But just before we move on to the finale, so to speak, any more thoughts on Borderlands 4?
No, I'll leave that for when we actually do like a deep dive into the trailer and stuff and really break it down.
We got to look for all the Easter eggs. But finally, I guess we should talk about the game of the year being Astrobot. I am thoroughly surprised and very happy it won. This was my pick heading into the Game Awards. You brought up this point of developers should notice about like co-op games and blah blah blah. Sony, PlayStation. Look how Astrobot won Game of the Year. Team Asobi, congratulations to you guys. But this smaller scale game compared to the God of Wars, the Spider-Mans, the Concords, the this, the that, this won Game of the Year. It goes to show you it's not about how big and how expensive your game is. It's about the quality and how the game plays. And Astrobot checks all those boxes. What are your thoughts on Astrobot winning Game of the Year?
I mean, I'm honestly not surprised, and I'm glad that it did. I'm glad that it won Game of the Year over like Elden Ring. Because if Elden Ring had won, honestly, I would have. Well, I would have been like, yeah, I saw it coming. I also would have been like, this upsets me.
There was something there where it's like, I don't
I would have
know.
just been like, I would have been like, yeah, this is okay. I saw it coming, but I'm good. I don't know why people chose it, but I'm glad that wasn't the case because Astrobot deserves it for it being a platformer and for it being like harkening back to like all this old PlayStation stuff. And I really, really want there to be more of it now. I want Sony to look at this so much and just say, "Oh, people actually want this."
This should be the loud and clear message if Sony was ever gonna listen to anything. It's like this. These are the things you look out for. Your Game of the Years. What did they do right? What did they do wrong? And it's just a testament to Team Asobi. They've been constructing this world and Astrobot from the very early days. And now to see it kind of all come to fruition. And again, this is a game that celebrates all of PlayStation. It's not like it's a brand new like IP game or whatever. This was like celebrating all of PlayStation at the end of the day. But yeah, I'm just happy it won. Balatro was one as the awards went on. It just kept winning all the other smaller awards. I was like, okay, like I think
Yeah.
that's out of the picture. It's also a one-man team. If that won, oh my gosh, that would have been crazy.
Yeah. I mean, go Balatro for winning as much as it did.
Yeah.
I would have been upset with it winning Game of the Year just solely because I know that there's other stuff better than it, but it still is deserving of everything that it got. Like it is I've never played it, but I've heard amazing things about it. I've heard how great it is. and it's one of those games I plan on eventually picking up and playing. So I would have been upset about it winning Game of the Year, but I'm glad at least it won a lot of other stuff.
Yeah, and again, a one-man team, if that game won, the ultimate middle finger to the gaming industry as a whole, to kind of be like, oh,
Oh yeah,
one man in his basement freaking won Game of the Year, and here you go. Here's like all these big teams, like, how did that happen? It's a testament. Just make good games. Like, that's all we ask for. Like, Astrobot,
yeah,
good game. Balatro, one-man team, up for Game of the Year. Black Myth Wukong, that won a lot of awards. It's like, okay, like, take note, gaming industry. This is what we want.
yeah. I mean, that's exactly what I said about the co-op stuff too. People are now finally noticing, hey, we want a little bit of co-op in our lives.
Just a little bit.
Not everything needs to be PvP, damn it.
PvP, hero
Oh,
shooter, all those. Can we leave those in 2024? But no, we got fair games and all that live service stuff
yeah.
coming out. Ugh,
I will
gosh.
point out though, like Thick as Thieves, that one looks interesting. I mean, it's a PvPvE or whatever, but that one looks good.
There's technicalities there we can kind of
Yeah.
dance around. But overall, any closing thoughts about the Game Awards? Any other games we didn't mention here that you're on the lookout for?
No, I mean, everything. I'm just excited for next year. I think really next year is going to be stacked. Even if we don't get GTA 6 next year and it is pushed back, like next year is just going to be stacked and we are going to have no shortage of good games to play next year. And honestly, Game Awards, picking Game of the Year next year is probably going to be difficult.
Well, I think, and this is a testament to Jeff Keighley actually listening for once to the general public, or at least I hope he does for next year. Let's do like DLC of the year, expansion of the year, then do Game of the Year as like a standalone thing, meet that criteria. But yeah, like
Yeah.
it's going to be a big year 2025 for gaming. There's a bunch of unannounced stuff that we don't know about. Obviously, as we head into the new year, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, Switch 2, that's all going to be revealed in the early stages, hopefully. So yeah, 2025, I can't wait to see where we're at next year. And then what's up for the nominations? What problems will it cause in gaming? And no DLC
Yeah,
though.
no. I mean, I am excited, but like you said, I mean, come on, Jeff. Listen, do DLC or expansion of the year. There you go. Like, just simple it down to best add-on content.
Yeah, best add-on content, best remake of the year, best remaster. We don't need like best esports, whatever. I don't know, like those little categories that they're like, and this award. Oh wait, and this award, and blah blah blah. Like the lady didn't want to talk about any of that stuff. Who are we kidding? But yeah, we want to pass it off to you guys. What'd you guys think of the Game Awards? What was your favorite reveal? And what'd you think of the Game of the Year being Astrobot over like games like Final Fantasy Rebirth, Balatro, and Black Myth Wukong? But that about does it here for this episode of The Cutting Board. If you want more Game Sandwich content, consider subscribing here, dropping a like and a comment on this video. Join our Discord because we're always talking about games, and if there is a big event, we're always doing watch-alongs, so come hang out with us. But as of right now, I've been Kalo, joined by Aiden, and we'll see you guys next time. If you enjoyed today's video and want more content just like this, consider subscribing to Game Sandwich for all your news, rumors, and reviews. And we'll see you guys next time.